Hello everyone. Today we're going to break down the difference between fixtures, chattels, leasehold improvements, and trade fixtures, and why these distinctions really matter in commercial real estate here in Toronto. Whether you're a landlord, tenant, or even another realtor, understand this could mean the difference between a smooth deal and a costly dispute. So what are fixtures and chattels? A fixture is something attached to the property. Let's say building cabinets, plumbing systems, HVAC systems. Once these are installed, it's usually very hard to take them off and they become part of the real estate. On the other hand, a chattel is movable. Office furniture, computers, a fridge, you name it. These things can be unplugged and wheeled away. These are chattels. Now here's the tricky part. What about a building sound system or security camera that's hardwired? Courts look at two things: the degree of attachment and the purpose of attachment. Was it meant to improve the property or just to help the business? Now, leasehold improvement. Leasehold improvement refers to any modifications, renovations, or upgrades made to a leasehold property by the tenant. These are typically changes to a tenant makes to customize the space to fit their specific business needs. So the key distinction is that these improvements are permanently attached to the property and are not easily removed without causing any damage. So what's the catch? In most leases, once they're installed, they belong to the landlord. Unless your lease says otherwise, you don't get to take them when you leave. Trade fixtures. A trade fixture is a type of fixture that business tenants installs on the leased property to help them carry out their business or trade. Now, trade fixtures are a special category. These are items installed by the tenants specifically for running their business, like restaurant equipment, shelving in a retail store, or salon chairs. Generally, tenants can remove these at the end of the lease, providing they repair any damage. Here's a great Canadian example. In one case, a restaurant tenant installed walk-in coolers. The landlord argued they were fixtures and should stay, but the court ruled that they were trade fixtures because they were installed for the business and could be removed without major damage. This shows how something that looks permanent can still be treated as temporary if it's clearly for the tenant's business. There are also gray areas in practice. So these gray areas are where disputes happen. Is that a building shelf part of the building or just store fixture? Is that glass partition of a leasehold improvement that stays or removable trade fixture? These questions could be addressed only when it's spelled out in the lease. That's why we would advise all tenants, whenever in doubt, put these clauses in lease. These properties are mine as trade fixtures and will take them away when the lease ends. Restoration obligations. And here's something many tenants overlook. A lot of commercial leases in Toronto require the tenant to restore the property to its original condition. That means removing all your improvements and making it look like you were never there. Tenants should budget for this because it can be costly, especially if you are heavily customized the space. Key takeaways. Fixture, stay with the property. Chattels, move the tenant. Leasehold improvements usually belong to the landlord, while trade fixtures can often be moved and they belong to the tenant. But always check your lease. That is the best way. Understanding these distinctions can save you thousands in disputes and make you a smarter negotiator in commercial real estate deals. If you have any questions, contact me, your Toronto commercial realtor.